actually to get to most vulnerable people?
No, I was talking about the two spaces whereby here in the diaspora, when we had a lockdown, the government was able to support us.
The government of the
with
US?
Those stimulus. Yes.
Okay.
Just to give you a little pickup whereby you can be able to pay for your rent, you can be able to buy some food. But on the flip hand, back home in Uganda, there's a heavy crisis whereby I realized in the first lockdown, there was little support or no support. And that is what I meant.
Well, of course, as you've put it clearly, in Uganda, there was little or no support. And now this calls for collective efforts. And this is where now we are bringing in you people in the diaspora. What should be your role? Because the diaspora actually has always played a key role in helping their countries. You remember during the fight for independence here in Africa, those who were in the diaspora actually played a key role. The fight against AIDS, the fight against Ebola. Now let's look at COVID-19. We need to see your visibility in Uganda.
Thank you so much. First off, I want to just, I've been working in the hospital here in the US. And when the pandemic hit, we were literally in the epicenter. I work in the laboratory, and we're in the epicenter of everything. We started off with nothing. We also had no idea what this virus was all about. But it's an invisible virus, definitely. And so many people died across the UK, the US, Canada, and definitely there was a sudden lockdown. Restaurants were shut down, different event spaces were shut down, even the hospital itself, they are not allowing people to come in. Only cancer patients were left in their wing, and they're only taking in patients with COVID-19, those who had tested positive, but also those who were really critically ill. And there were so many deaths that happened. So this virus is part of a family that it's called the SARS, whereby it affects your respiratory system. That's why a lot of people who have the diseases, especially like those who have diabetes, those who have possibly HIV/AIDS, those who have cancers, that because they have a low immune system, they are hit so heavily, and those are the ones who become critically ill. But also not to say any other person can get this virus and they can go down anytime. So what do I say that? I want to encourage our people to do whatever they can to social distance, especially with the new variant, the Delta variant that appeared from India. This variant is actually more dangerous than the one we had first. So when we talk about how can you protect yourself, masks are so vital. Here you cannot enter any building without a mask. Washing your hands regularly is one of the most effective ways you can actually make sure you're safe. So what has the diaspora done? On my end, with the help of other leaders, we have started a program to literally raise money, which I sent you the information. It's a GoFund page where most friends have put in money, and we're going to start designing masks. But we're going to use a team in Uganda to design those masks, and we're going to give it first to the most vulnerable communities. How are we going to do that? Definitely we'll be able, using some of the people on ground to help us, notify us, these are some of the spaces that really need these masks. Why I say that these masks have to be designed on ground. First of all, we are supporting our local people, especially during this COVID time, to give them a little penny, a few dollars, that they can be able to support their families. But also we are using clothes, whereby using disposable masks, it is not effective because you have to throw it after a day or two. But if you have a cloth mask, you can wash it every night and you can be able to wear it every morning. And also I had stories that some people, of course, during this COVID time, there's a lot of financial strain, that they cannot be able to have so many masks at home, that they share masks. that is risky. That is risky. So what I would encourage, everyone has to have their own mask. Wash it at night and iron it in the morning and wear it and go out to work. And also I want to encourage anyone, if you have no business to go into the city, please stay home. There's no reason why people should hold parties at this time. This is where a lot of the exchange of this virus happens.
Now, if I
Please
can,
stay home if possible.
if I can interject, let's look at the safety of Ugandans in North America. In other words, because in other communities, you've had that they've lost their people. Such and such a number is perhaps in ICU, they are bedridden. So what is the situation like amongst you Ugandans living in the US? How safe are you?
I want to assure you that also our people affected. Some literally are finding themselves back in the hospitals now. We are getting alerts from the city all over the diaspora that now the Delta variant has actually entered the US. And they're asking everyone to make sure they get the vaccine. The vaccine has been effective, but definitely there are some people who are not taking it. And also this virus, I might as well say, because I've been on so many platforms, it is more in a layman's language, just like HIV/AIDS, whereby some patients can show symptoms and other patients do not. Those who show symptoms, which is the cold, fever, sore throat, congestion in their chest, in their lungs, those are called symptoms. So it's a symptomatic disease. And those who don't, it's asymptomatic. They don't even show any symptom. And those are the ones actually who are spreading the virus more. Because they don't have symptoms, they keep on walking, they keep on going into spaces. And especially the older people are the ones who are affected more. I would want to encourage our people back home, please protect our older generation.
Well,
do not visit them a lot.
If you can hold on to your point, Lydia, we find that there is all sort of propaganda about the vaccines here in Uganda. And from a medical practitioner's point of view, please, what assurance or assurance are you giving Ugandans that the vaccine is actually good, effective, and effective and perhaps has no side effects? Then secondly, in the US, how are you handling the negative propaganda about the vaccine? How are you handling the phobia for the vaccine?
Thank you for asking that question. I want to go back to the vaccines we have here in the US. We have what's called the Moderna, which then we have the Pfizer. They are above 90% efficacy, which is that's how effective they are. The vaccine in Uganda,
we have AstraZeneca.
It has 52, AstraZeneca, yes. It has 52% efficacy. So definitely does not balance well with the vaccines we have here. But we can always use what we have at hand. We can always use what we have at hand. The vaccine, the propaganda I've had, people think they're giving you a virus, a COVID, a live COVID. That is not true. The COVID vaccine is not like a flu vaccine. A COVID vaccine is an mRNA protein that literally enters your body and builds your immune system. Because when the virus gets into your body, when your immune system is good, it can be protected. You can be protected. So that is why we have this virus, the vaccine being given to us in order to boost our immune system. It is not a live COVID that they're putting into your body.
Yeah, still in line with your profession and career, what is it that you are doing in the US, especially in the health sector, that we are not doing in Uganda, or perhaps that we can borrow a leaf from the health sector in the US?
All I can tell you, I've visited home. I just like I told you I have a nonprofit where I started helping, working with a hospital in Kumi. And when I went there, I noticed that our health system is not at par. We don't have all the medical equipment we need. We don't have the doctors we need. We don't have, even when I know right now, our doctors have started dying in Uganda because they don't have the proper PPE. So,
no, when you talk about PPE, what do you mean? Bring it down to a layman's language.
PPE would be more gloves.
The protection gears.
The protection gears, yes. Right? Because they're working with patients and they can also get the virus. If they don't have the mask, if a doctor doesn't have the mask, if the doctor doesn't have gloves, if a doctor doesn't have a protective gear to cover their clothes, because this virus actually can stay on surfaces for 24 hours. It can stay in the air for 3 hours. So there's a lot that our people need to learn, but also the medical system, the Ministry of Health has to work extra time, overload time, to make sure they provide for the hospitals, for the medical doctors, all the support they need. And through that, we'll be able to kick COVID-19 out of Uganda and out of the entire world.
Well, of course, yes, this is our campaign tag here at UBC, Let's Kick COVID-19 Out of Uganda. Now, back to how you are supporting Uganda. You talked about the vaccine, and here in Uganda, actually, you find that one of the challenges is how to get the vaccine. How are you, as members of Uganda North American Association, maybe working with the government so that government can be able to acquire or to get more vaccines so that more and more people are vaccinated within a short time, so that perhaps, yes, the economy can open up just like we are seeing in the US and other European countries are doing?
Definitely, we pray that we can kick this COVID-19 out and the economy of Uganda can open up. We are starting dialogues with major companies here. I cannot say that we have gotten anywhere, but by the grace of God, we will. We know that, of course, with the Western world, they have to cater to their own first. And then Africa will come second.
Yeah, remember.
But I'm so grateful.
Remember,
I'm so grateful to note.
Remember, they say charity begins at home.
Charity begins at home,
yes,
but I think the Western world has to think about Africa more, whereby these are their business partners in so many ways. But I'm grateful that the President of the United States, President Biden, mentioned in one of his statements that they're going to make sure they pump up the vaccine production so that they can be able to also send vaccines to Africa and other spaces that actually have not been able to vaccinate their people. So I hope that happens very soon, because most Americans have been vaccinated now, though some have not, and some do not actually believe in it. And that's where the problem lies. But I pray and hope that they can be able to have a bigger production whereby they can send to our governments back home.
Yes, thank you very much, Lydia. Now, let's get now to the girl child, because you're one of the advocates of the girl child education. And because of COVID-19, we've seen reports showing that a number of girls actually have been impregnated, and some of them are at a high risk of really dropping out from school. We've seen child mothers. So as Uganda North American Association, what do you say, or perhaps how do you intend to help sensitize the girls, help inspire the girls, so that more and we can have more and more of Lydia and Atolos in future?
Thank you so much. And for me, that breaks my heart. I've had so many stories of young girls being impregnated. I've had so many stories of young girls now, and when they started returning to school, they were pretty much pregnant. But also, I want to appeal to the boy child, to the man in the city, in the village, to the uncle in the house where this girl child is. Please protect the girl child. Please protect the girl child. We know that so many of these young girls were sent back home, and they were home. So that is where the trouble starts. If we do not talk about the root cause of the problem, we are literally deceiving and lying to ourselves, because these issues are going to continue to show up. But how are we helping? How can I help? I want to use my voice, first of all, to appeal to the government of Uganda to continue talking about these issues, and also find out what is happening in the homes of these young girls. Sexual assault is on the rise, and it's been on the rise. It's not just in Uganda, even here in the United States. We need to hold these men and these young men and the boys accountable to their actions. And also to the young girl, the girl child. Learn to speak up. Because it starts with a dialogue. It starts with a conversation. A boy will come and tell you, let's go somewhere. Learn to say no. Learn to know that your body is your own and you have a right to say no. You have a right to scream so that other people can hear. You have a right to report. Because at the end of the day, we victimize the girl child. And some of these girls are literally threatened. They're told if you speak, something might happen to you. So they go silent. And when you're pregnant, the pregnancy does not grow going inside. It just keeps on coming up. So you'll definitely be seen. And then a girl child feels shameful. Or they do even horrible acts to them so they can terminate the baby. And then at the end of the day, both of them can die. So I just want to empower the girl child. Your body is your own. No one, it does not belong to anybody else. You have a right to speak up.
Yes, the girls.
Go to the local center.
Yes, the girls have a right to speak up, but also to the men, those with excessive and huge appetite. Please, if you can't control it, take it to the right place. Please don't misplace it. Don't again use your uncontrolled appetite on our young girls. Give them a chance so that we can have more and more of the Nabanjas, we can have more and more of the Jessica Lupos, we can have more and more of the Rebecca Kadagas. Now, I can really see time is not our best ally. Your message to Ugandans, your message to your fellow Ugandans in the diaspora, especially in the US and Canada.
My message to our Ugandans in the diaspora, first, I want to thank you for giving this opportunity. And just like I told you, it's an early morning. And of course, I wake up with allergies, so excuse my voice. But I want to first thank you having me, UBC TV. First, I want to send a message to our people back home in Uganda. Please be patient. We'll go through this. We will go through this. We will help in any way possible, especially on personal levels, but also through the organization and other ways. And also to the government. Please do whatever you can, the government of Uganda, to create some stipend to give families. Because I believe everyone is vulnerable now, except those who have been having more money and they have savings out there. To our Ugandans in the diaspora, this is Lydia Natolo, your Vice President of Uganda North America Association. And I also want to let you know that also stay strong, because I know most of you have lost your jobs, you've lost your loved ones, or you're working less hours. Now we have a new variant coming in the US. It's already here. Continue to take the vaccines because for you, you have them available and they're free. Do not be afraid to protect your body because you're building your immune system. Social distancing is key. But also I want to appeal to you. I'm running to be your next president of Uganda North America Association. This September Labor Day weekend, you're going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. I want you to register to come to Cincinnati and vote for Lydia Natolo as your next president. Well, my team is called Team Unity, and it's going to change our organization for good. Well, thank you so much.
I must thank you very much, Lydia Natolo, currently the Vice President of Uganda North American Association, but also now a candidate for the presidency. Yeah, of course, now a candidate for the presidency, wishing to lead one of the biggest, actually, association of Ugandans in their diaspora. Indeed, you know, COVID-19 is such a serious crisis that we have to call upon all our kin, wherever they are, to really join the struggle against COVID-19 in Uganda for the betterment of Ugandans. Mande Akol Amazima saying stay safe, and I must thank you very much, Lydia Natoro from California, for actually really taking time off your busy schedule, for also taking time off your campaigns and really accepting to be on this. We shall engage you more and more on the program, also plus actually your other colleagues, yeah, so that Ugandans can get to know who are these Ugandans in the diaspora and who are these who are aspiring to lead them.
Thank you.